Welcome back to our YouTube channel with yours truly, Akeem from Side Project. Now, I've gotten a few questions from persons in regards to my recent exam that I passed, which is Linux Plus. The person wants to know my experience, so today I'm going to make a video about my experience. Let's get into it. Now, for me, the first thing I did was setting a date to complete exam. Now, having a date helps you to prioritize your efforts leading up to the examination. Now, after setting a date, and the date I set initially, it was for December 15th of 2022. Now, at that time, stuff came up and I had to reschedule and do it a month later, which was on January 15, 2023. Now, after setting the date, I had a schedule created to go through the material on a day-to-day basis. Now, the CERT Master Learn basically allowed you to set your target date and it adjusts the amount of knowledge points or reading you'll have to do on a day-to-day basis. So for example, you may see the date was set for 15 and I had to do approximately about 35 knowledge points per day. Now, after creating a schedule to go through the material, I shared my plan with my colleagues, Sanjay and a few of my mentors about my plan. And this basically helped me to have them hold me accountable in preparing for this examination. Now, the reason for doing this is that we're all humans and sometimes we will fall short of a daily effort, we'll fall short of the momentum, the motivation, the drive to execute accordingly. For example, Sanjay followed up with me weekly to say, hey, how are you doing with preparation for the Linux exam? How are things looking? And also when I had to reschedule, I had to provide him with the reason as to why I was rescheduling. That's just me really, trusting my colleague to help me to prepare for the exam. Now, going through the CERT Master Learn. Now, some days I got the opportunity to put in 2 hours, some days 1 hour, some days 30 minutes. Now, I have a newborn baby. He's just 6 months old. So basically, when he cries, I have to go attend to, the reason why he's crying, ensure he's alright. So I had to plan my day around my personal job, around, being with him through the day. So for the most part, I was able to study at nights. And my wife is home, my wife have him and all that. That's when I got the chance to put in some study, or the early mornings before he wakes up. And the good thing about this is that even if I'm not able to put in a 2 hour or an hour and I commit to at least 30 minutes, I keep going, I keep moving, because there's this quote that Sanjay told me once, was that doesn't matter how slow you're going, just keep the wheel turning. So I did just that. Now, for the CERT Master Lab, there were a total of 31 labs where I did mostly on the weekends. Now, for the most part, I try to do 2 labs on the weekends, at least 2. But some days I get to do 3, and sometimes for the entire weekend, only 1. Now, the good thing is the labs are assisted, so the instructions are there to help you to execute that particular objective or task. Now, after the labs, after I was completed with the labs, I went on and I go through the CERT Master Practice. Now, in my previous video, I showed you, exactly what it was. But for me, I spent approximately 46 hours in going through the entire questions. Now, the recommended amount of hours or time as per CERT Master was about 12-16 hours thereabout. Now for me, I had to go over because for the most part, Linux was not my strongest forte. So I had to ensure I go through more than once, ensure that I understand the reason for an answer to be incorrect or correct. Not to mention, in parallel, I was going through the Linux XK0-004 course on CBT Nuggets. And that was there just to help me to understand certain concept terminology. So I was like literally going through questions and having the CBT Nuggets to give me adequate knowledge in preparing for the exam. Because the learn aspect of it was just reading mostly. And for me, I can read through something, but I love to have a little bit of a lecture to cement the concepts. Now, even though I passed the exam with approximately 2 months and a half, so that's about what, 10 weeks, so 10 weeks of studying, it was brutal, I can say. It wasn't a easy take. So it was more of me trying my best to stay committed no matter what, and definitely the momentum is what I had to maintain. No, long story short, and as you already know, the exam was a success. Now, even though I passed the exam, that does not mean that I'm going to just leave myself at a pass and not continue to go through labs and ensure that I still remember how to move a file to a different directory or enable the firewall services or troubleshoot various issues or adding users within Linux. So I am committed to still go over labs so I can ensure that I am involved in continuous learning. Now, we have some great news for you. On our first video with C.IT.E Master, we forgot to tell you guys something very, very important that will help you in preparing for any CompTIA exams. So this week, we should be having a meeting with someone from CompTIA, which will pretty much give us exactly what you guys need to do to obtain discounts in getting the material and possibly discount on doing the examination. So stay tuned for our next video where we will tell you exactly what is required. With that being said, keep moving, keep going. Until next time, have a good one, guys.